Good afternoon or good evening, everybody. Obviously, good evening. Here at 10:11 p.m. Central Time. This is a day review of MTV Stream 10th episode season finale. Also, just wanted to promote myself here, get it out of the way here in the start and obviously at the end. Welcome to follow me on Twitter, as it shows on the bottom, for my NFL podcast at Talking_Packers. If you are seeing this on my YouTube channel, obviously live or after it's uploaded, you're welcome to subscribe. My last video actually just hit 180 views, and hopefully it can get some subscriptions from people out of that. Hopefully, you don't have to. If you don't want to subscribe, you don't want to subscribe. I can't make anybody subscribe, but hopefully you enjoy it. And obviously, my other content will be NFL, sports, and other things. If you have a topic that you might want me to talk about, just let me know in the comment section below, or in a message on YouTube. That's up to you. And I'll take it from there, and maybe I'll put a video up about that topic. Usually, I'll put up a video about anything, so you just gotta let me know what you want to hear from me. Heck, I even might be thinking about doing maybe a couple reaction videos or something. I don't know. Just see if I'm any good at that. Meaning, if I'm entertaining enough doing it, like the many others that do it, like Akasan, Tyro Magnus, the Knight, and many others. And the newest one the newest two that have grown fame is I Am Dante, and Mambo Jumbo. So I don't know. I might want to get into that mix. But obviously, even if I do try that, obviously I'll find out, and people will find out if I'm even good enough, as an entertaining enough to go down that road. But like I said, if you are watching this, this one might be even the trailer for my channel to see, maybe, and then hopefully you guys are welcome to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, like, share any of my videos. Obviously, now that I have the ability to do Google Hangouts, it won't be perfect in every episode. It gives me a chance that I can do videos of different things with live Hangouts whenever. And I like doing it the Google Hangouts way than trying to, now with a laptop, do regular videos and edit them. I'm not saying that's bad, it works for people. But for me, I think I want to do it the Google Hangouts way because then I can interact, whether it's a football topic. The NFL season's around. I have my NFL podcast once a week, pro wrestling, or whatever. I get, can interact with people if people, know that I'm live and, check out my video. And then, go from there. So I think I have 30 now, 30 or 32 subscribers. Obviously, that's, pennies compared to getting, 100 subscribers or 200 or 1,000, getting up to those barriers that I'd like to, but, little steps. But hopefully people find my channel entertaining, and I just wanted to get that off my chest first here, promoting stuff. Since I am a little bit early, I actually am going to start this episode with my co-host when he comes on here at 10:20. It was the 10:20, 10:30 was the start time. I was planning to do this. And I do apologize that I am doing this a little early, but like I said, I wanted to get all my promo stuff for my channel and self-promotion out of the way, so I don't bore you with it when I try to actually start the episode of this Google Hangout talking about MTV Stream, the season finale. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the co-host and just getting ready here. But yeah, like I said, welcome to subscribe. Like I said, the last video, my last review of episode 9, right now is the trailer, or the first video for new viewers, new subscribers. I come to my channel, and I definitely have seen, since I put it up there, it's been getting a lot of love in a way, at least in views. And like I said, if people don't want to subscribe, they don't have to subscribe. It's personal choice, right? But hopefully, it can interest maybe a couple people, and we go from there. Because I definitely think that this channel can grow and become something. With not, with me and the content, but also with, a growing fan base and slowly subscriber count. But like I said, in the beginning, I'm not here for the fame, but I am here to have a medium to be able to give my thoughts on NFL, MLB, baseball, basketball, all the major sports, golf, NASCAR, sports, and professional wrestling, and sports entertainment. So that's what I'm here for. So definitely, I'm enjoying doing it, and hopefully, like I said, you guys find this, not just this episode or this video, entertaining, but my channel as well. Because all can go is up. So any channel that's on YouTube, always going to start at 0 subscribers. So it's a slow climb, and that's what I also with the subscribers I do have. If you have a suggestion on what I should do, maybe how to change it up, make the channel better, how to be able to draw in people to the channel, because I want it to become something, and be able to have not just a larger fan base just for the numbers, but a larger fan base to have interaction, especially with the NFL fans here, the YouTube Nation or YouTube Universe, as I call it, and so. I always get my raw, honest opinions on anything, whether it's sports, pro wrestling, or here on stream. I do try to be obviously professional. I don't try to swear or stuff like that. I mean, I could, but I'd rather not. That's just my personality. Some people like it and agree. Some people think, oh no, he's just, that's why, and, maybe that's why people don't like some of the videos, because it's that way, and they think, oh, it's boring because he doesn't, like, I show energy, but to them, it comes across differently. There's no energy because I'm not riled up or wagging my finger or something, or swearing, which is fine. I mean, it works for other channels. It shows that they care, so it's not a bad thing to show that, and I do in real life. But my general personality is respectful and kind, so I respect other people's opinions, whether differ or the same from mine. And hopefully you respect mine, whether you could disagree with it 100%. But as long as you respect it, that's all I can ask. But like I said, I did want to be on here a little bit early. I just wanted to get my promotions and stuff out of the way before we got into this episode. And thanks to a couple of viewers, actually we already have live, so thanks for watching. And to anybody else, obviously, that watches after it is on the channel. I think my partner in crime, so to speak, since we're talking about Scream anyways, but my co-host, I think, is here. Good evening, Jay.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, actually.
Good. I guess great to have you back on the show. I guess hopefully for season 2, can have you as a regular co-host for these episodes for MTV Scream. I don't know if you were able to listen to me, because I started this actually a little bit earlier. Wanted to get promotions out of the way, and I said that the last video I put up as my trailer on the channel, and as of last count, as I checked before going on here, it got up to 180 views, beating out what was my number one a video I did back about Triple H and Sting before Fastlane, for WWE Fastlane in February. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, getting on topic, getting right into this episode. It was what I thought it would be, a roller coaster of awesomeness. And I guess first off the bat, generally, what were your overall thoughts on this episode, Jay?
Did you say a roller coaster lost, Steve?
No, I said a roller coaster of awesomeness.
Oh, I think you said I've lost. This episode was great. I did like it. The because I do get confused sometimes. So Piper was the lady who was going around interviewing people with the glasses and stuff.
Yeah, she was the podcast host.
So she was the killer. Wow. Sometimes they make you think really hard, don't they?
Exactly.
Because, man.
Well, that's the point of the show. They make you overthink, make you think that it could be something. And then the whole fact with, as I go back to, you'll never see it coming. Even the tagline, Piper said there in the end about she was going to reveal something else, which I'm sure I'll get to when I get my thoughts. It just was something that, that she came a little bit later I think it was episode 3 or 4. She came in, made her debut, quote unquote, in in the story I've never seen, and I kind of had a sneaky suspicion she could be. But as I've said from week one, my number one was always Kieran. Obviously, you can check all the other videos. I'm not gonna lie about it. He was my number one, and um, I think the last episode I kind of said maybe it could be the podcast host, but I still had her low on my totem pole because I only had two. I only had a top two last week, and that was Mr. Branson and Kieran. So she was on the radar, but she wasn't up there high enough. She was even one of those for me, to be honest, an outside chance. Even more so than this whole theory about somebody being Brandon James' brother in disguise or something. I thought that was more suitable to happen than it being Piper. But hey, it is what it is. I think the whole twist and actually the way that it ended made you think that maybe Aubrey had something to do with it, even though she was the one that shot Piper, and everything. Then what happened in the final scenes, that maybe it was a team. It was more than one. It kind of had to be with when Piper was attacked when she was with Will there in the garage, I believe. After Will had that little meeting with the mayor and gave him back the tape and everything, and that scene. So I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to bring that up. Anything else that was interesting or not interesting from this episode that you caught on there, Jay?
It was really good. My I thought a lot of people was going to die this episode just to narrow it down, but I'm assuming the ones who survived to be a part of season 2 is what I'm assuming. That's why Brooke didn't die or Audrey. Just they were a great cast, and I did think Brooke was going to die because who? I think she made a stupid move tonight. Why would you go in the freezer? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just something I wouldn't do. I would either try to fight and run around a table or stay where I was at. I would not go in the freezer. If he opens it and sees me, what are you going to do? The worst thing you can do is kick, but that's not going to work. He has slammed a lid on top of you, lock it, whatever. And like he did, torture her, basically, freezer. That was just, to me, I just threw my mind off and I was just like screaming, like, are you serious? And yeah, I thought she was left for dead.
Mm-hmm.
And come to show she's alive. So I'm saying, well, Audrey has to be alive because we didn't even see her die. And then bam, there's Audrey. So I'm like, okay, so we're almost to the end here, and these people are still alive. Therefore, I think somebody will die, which I thought maybe Emma's mother. Someone has to. If they were saved, someone has to. A major death has to happen, not some random guy in the bathroom at Brooke's party or something. The sheriff, he died, but maybe we kind of. I mean, we had our ifs about that in the very end of the episode of last week. This week they made it official. And it's sad for Emma's mother, but other than that, the ending was okay. I was shocked. Like what they say, didn't see it coming, didn't think. I thought way too hard about it. I was asking people on Twitter who they thought the killer was. Like I got a Mr. Brandon, and then I also got Mr. Brandon and Piper. So I did get some feedback. And Piper was the one, so I was really shocked, and I knew she was gonna die, and things like that. And I was screaming, as they say, beat her up, or you kind of get really hyped up when you see two girls fight. It's like, oh, come on. And of course you want the good guys to win, and they did. Nice shot by Audrey. I don't know how she realized that's Emma went, but a shot and then there was come back, which is true. So that second shot by Emma kind of killed the deal for her. And then of course, like any other movie scene where everybody, the police finally gets to the scene, and there's the ambulance, and what's the guy name? But he did an ending segment where, am I thinking too hard, or how? Because she was not down in that garage, or maybe she wasn't the killer. I mean, that really showed you that okay, she's not the killer. So a few weeks back. So now going fast forward to now, it's like, how was that possible? He kind of explained that a little bit. And, let us know there could be a second killer, and that's our little cliffhanger for next season. Even though because they knew maybe people would be upset if we didn't find out who the killer was this season. So they revealed the killer, but they still need a plan B, another backup, to keep you on your edges and still talking while off season and being excited for what they can bring in part two. And I'm excited for the cast that's returning. I like Brooke, Jake and the other guy and the other guy. So the entire cast, I hope they return, and I'm sure they will. And I do like the people we have left. Not a few of them will die next season. I will hope so. Brooke and um, I don't know. Emma's boyfriend, and then Jake. I think he should definitely die. So there's just a few people. Because I don't know if season 3 is in the making or if they want to think about season 3. Um, because you don't have to really start a whole new cast season 2. You can keep these cast members for a few seasons before you think about, okay, everybody's there except for Emma. Then when Emma dies, if she does die, then of course you bring just a whole new cast and kind of revolve around that. Maybe you can restart, because this storyline is just going to continue on. You got to build on top of that, and once you keep building, you want to kind of knock the building down and restart. And I think they can do that, but they got time. And 2017, 18. I mean, there's years ahead of us here, Steve. And I don't want to get too far, but I think it was a good move. Like I said last week, it'll be a good move to reveal it. Now, will it be best for business? 100%? No, because I mean, we have most of the cast returning, and if we didn't see who the killer was, it I don't know. Will I be more excited than I am now? But I mean, I am glad that people got what they wanted. I mean, including me. We know exactly who the killer is now and what to look out for next season.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of feel that a lot of people kind of did see it coming with being Piper. I know a lot of people have changed their thoughts, going from there, thinking that her father is Brandon James, and I kind of thought too, more and more, which is why I thought Kieran was a killer, because I thought he was, the son, because I knew I knew, my intuition telling me that I knew that this is going to end with a family dynamic, kind of like Scream the movie, Scream One, the movie, the end of technically the first season or series of the Scream movie franchise. So that one ended with I think that was the first one, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure someone will tell me, but either way, I kind of knew it was going to end with a family dynamic being her brother or her sister, someone revealing that to be the killer, and that's why I all along went with Kieran, thinking Kieran was the one, and was her brother and a complete psychopath, because in the end he technically was sleeping with his sister all along, knowing it and whatever. So, and that's kind of how they got us. They got us because they made Kieran so hated in that way, with the Will dynamic and the love triangle. At least my thought being, I want Will and M to be together forever, quote unquote. Wanting that to work, and I guess then that worked. Because as Noah said, in the first episode, kind of giving the rules of the game and everything of how it was going to work, with a slash movie becoming a TV series. You know, having people invested in these separate storylines within the bigger plot, and one of those being the dynamic of the girl, you know, getting back with the jock or whatever, however that was, or however that was stated by Noah, and that was Noah again there at the end, who you were referring to there, Jay, that was talking about, who could have been wearing the mask when Piper and Will were attacked in that abandoned garage or whatever that was, or shed or whatever. Um, and that point, so there could be a second killer, it could be three killers. If you think about it as you were talking about, continuing on and on and on, 3 to 5 seasons, then it could be a group of killers, three or more, two or more, however it may be. At least two or more, meaning it was a group. The first one was caught, but now the second one goes back in hiding, and then something happens in the premiere of season 2 that gets this whole thing started up again. I kind of have a feeling of the way it's going to be done. I don't know, obviously, for sure, but I think it's going to be like 6 months later or something, or 1 year later. I'm going to go more with 6 months later, kind of thing, how they're going to, that very first scene will be, 6 months later. and people being a little different. I don't know how especially how it ended with people changing. I don't know about changing personality, but just changing their choices. Especially with Jake finally getting rid of that that hard drive of Nina, of him secretly watching her, and whatever, and other things. And Aubrey, maybe she'll finally forgive Emma of something or whatever, because we were talking about forgiveness when she was looking at the picture of her and Emma together, and that Brandon James picture, that still wasn't explained, or at least it wasn't until that point, of why she had the picture underneath the picture of her and Emma together. Um, so there's a lot of interesting things. It was a good cliffhanger. Obviously a lot of things to find out what's going to happen with season two. How that dynamic's going to start. Who's going to be the first kill, so to speak. Kind of like this season obviously was Nina, Bella Thorne playing Nina. Um, so who's going to be the catalyst for just starting it off from there? And I'm sure the target will still be Emma. Emma's still going to be the main thing. Just like there was one main target for many seasons, many movies on the Scream franchise. Um, so I think at least for a couple of seasons that will be Emma, and then maybe like you said, I kind of like what you said there with having a different cast, maybe season 4, season 5. However they do it, then they have the whole dichotomy with that group, and however that goes. But this episode, like I said, was great. I'm glad we found out who the killer was. I know we talked about in the last episode, reviewing episode 9, that maybe they might not say who it is and have that as a big cliffhanger of the reveal. And they would start season 2 with the reveal and then going from there, right there. So you're waiting, because the show's coming back in 2016. You're waiting all the way then to find out then who the killer is. Everybody's talking in blogs, Twitter, and YouTube videos, on who they think it is and why and all that other stuff. And then they would start off season 2 that way and then go from there. But I think the way they did it was best for business, best way to do it, at least in my opinion, to reveal who the killer is there, and then go with a totally different economy, different storyline. At least storyline for each character in the season 2, because in season 2, whether they take it as 6 months later or 1 year later, the characters, they might be a little bit different. They might not be, obviously the same person, but their personality might be different with each of them, as was referred to there in the final scenes of this finale. So that would be interesting as well. See, maybe Jake is not such an ass or whatever. If things change, like Brooke wanted to change, a couple episodes earlier, being a better person, and then she reverted back. That's why they, she had her party and everything. That then happened and culminated here with the finale. But it's going to be obviously a long wait. Scream fans will keep themselves busy until then. Other shows and other interests between the time, but definitely then ready to go when that season 2 comes, or at least when information slowly comes of season 2. Of maybe there might be a first trailer or a first synopsis of an episode, or a synopsis of the season. You never know what MTV will be able to or want to put out there when we get into 2016. But either way, highly looking forward to it. So I guess I can ask you, Jay, what do you think they're gonna start off from there in season 2? Do you think it's going to be 6 months from how it ended here in the finale? 6 months from that timestamp, or a year, or how do you think the economy is going? The economy of the characters are going to be when we do return in 2016 with season 2.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I think that's a and they usually do that, like they did at the end, where it's the ambulance and the police, like all the movies. And when they make another one, like a Rush Hour 1, 2, whatever, etc., and then they'll start off with, okay, 1 year later, what they're doing. Maybe they have jobs, and then somehow some guy or some girl is texting and this pops up again. So I totally agree. Hopefully, it's not late in 2016, maybe February. they started up my birthday month, but maybe they do that March, maybe or early spring.
Yeah, I would. For my birthday month, I would love it to be in April. I think that would actually be. It's the perfect time of year to be quite honest. I mean, not just being biased because it's my birthday month, but in all honesty, I think it is. With April and everything being there with kids, with near the end of the school year, just with the weather and the season, um, and some other things with sports and whatever going on at that time too. Um, with March Madness ending actually in early April, usually, um, and that sort of interest there. So I would obviously love it to be April. Heck, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but if they do it on a Monday, or usually they would like to start it, or whatever they're going to put it on. I don't know. Maybe if it'll keep being on Tuesdays, whatever. Maybe the 25th, or April 25th or 27th, I think would be perfect. Um, because my birthday's around there, 25th to 28th. One of those dates would be perfect. Um, but either way, whenever they do bring it back, it's going to be great when it does come back. And obviously, looking forward to when that is. I mean, obviously, I'd rather have it in February, January right away, but I think they might hold off a little bit longer to have the premiere of the second season. Like I said, maybe April or May. I think would be around the perfect time to do that. Late April, early May, around there would be a good time. Um, but we'll definitely see. Either way, it's gonna be great. Um, and then there's gonna be a new killer and everything. I'm sure a lot of people will be thinking, okay, already who this next killer be? Who was part of this team from the original? See, that's another thing. You wait all the way to 2016 for the start of a second season, and then you get there, and they're starting with a different storyline or a different thing. But you always have to keep your mind back from first season because in the end, that's where it all started with the death of Nina, and then it went from there. It taking a break, yes, but it's going to start up again because the second killer of the group went on hiding after the first one was found out. However, they decided to write it either way. When we get to that season two, you still have to think back to season one because when you're thinking of theories, when we get to season two, episode one or episode three or whatever, part of it still should be some resemblance from season one, just because of that correlation, because it is a continuation, obviously, being a second season with the same cast. So really anything and everything that happened here in season one, so should be taken into account when going into season two. And I'm sure that MTV and the show will have Noah, which is the really third person that they usually go with to explain things. I'm sure just like in the premiere of season one, he's going to do it again in premiere of season two. This time, maybe not explain the rules and everything like he did this one, but explaining about thinking about how to not forget of things of the past and or however they do it. I can see that kind of monologue happening there in the beginning of the season. Besides the whole, this is 6 months later or 1 year later kind of thing, where like I said, where he just states, you gotta remember from the past, or just when you think things are gonna be good, you never know when it can turn, sort of thing, or something like to that effect, I guess. Um, could be could be done. Any other um, thoughts you think of how season two could start, or what do you think? What do you think would be the best way for it to start on the way they finished it here for season one?
Um, maybe Emma and her mom in a new house, maybe new state, and or maybe not, or maybe just a new house in the area. Because because the friends wouldn't all move unless they all decided to move or started on another vacation. The end of well, they're in high school.
Yes.
Okay, maybe graduation. No, not graduation day. Maybe the graduation day for college or something like somewhere where it fast forwards us. and but still Emma and her mom are enjoying life, and so are the other, and so is her friends.
Right, and the relationship between Kieran and Emma, further along from there, maybe, maybe it's getting serious at that point, especially if we go a year in the future, talking engagements or stuff like that. Who knows, however they're going to want to have it. I don't know if they would go that far, but, something different, like you said, or it could be a whole different, situation, where we're talking about them being in a different state or different city, wanting to get away get out of the town from where this whole um, situation occurred. So Emma and her mom moved somewhere else to just get away and be able to enjoy life and whatever. So then she's kind of detached from everybody else, but still keeping in contact through however means. You know, they could still use, because we're talking about it being in modern day, using technology like the Skypes or the Google Hangouts or the emails or the whatever's chats and IMs and the Facebooks and however else to interact. Maybe they could do it that way where they're kind of broken up. And you're gonna have two separate areas of over there. One like within one of her and the mom being in a different town, living their life. So, but like I said, definitely highly anticipating when we finally do get to season 2 and get to see where this story unfolds. The next chapter. I'm trying to see where it goes. I guess to throw it out there. For these characters, Jay. Do you think there's any already thinking of who could have been part of this group, or because like I said, there's going to be a second killer, so it's from this group from the original year season 1. So who else was involved in helping that podcast host, do what she needed to do and everything? Because like she said, she wanted to reveal something that they would have never seen coming, yada yada. That who do you think would be already a front runner to be the second killer?
Um, Audrey, just because I know they make it seem like it, but a few times, and I just think she could have been easily involved, and but I feel like I'm wrong, but that'll be my guess right now, Audrey.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, just because of everything that happened there in the end. But then again, that could be a big red herring, just like the whole Kieran stuff and everything that looked like he was going to be the one of Mr. Branson or whatever. For the first reveal. Um, but you never know. Maybe it could be a double swerve. Kind of a thing where okay, this time you are supposed to be the obvious suspect. But just thinking from from this cast, who else would want to get revenge on Emma and her mother with the whole Brian James situation? That's why I still think maybe this whole thing, this whole thought process that the fans had of Troy, Brandon's brother, being part of it. Um, especially with Troy wanting to help out Piper, which would be his niece. Um, in a way, then they'd be working as a team, and he would truly be in the shadows because no one would think of him really outright. Then again, there's still Emma's dad, kind of as a possible candidate from an outside view. Mr. Branson, I don't know, he's kind of out of the woods for me. I don't know yet. Um, obviously, just like they're going to say everybody's a suspect, but maybe the second person is the one that's supposed to be you'll never see it coming even more than Piper here. Because most of the people, as I said before, I wanted to be wrong, but I also wanted it to be totally out of the box. I didn't want it to be someone that a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon to pick as the killer, and that's kind of how it ended here. It was still satisfactory to me, and it still was, a great episode. Don't get me wrong, but I think maybe with that whole tagline and stuff, I think that will be with this second killer, the part of the group. I don't know. It just makes me think because that's what they wanted to have this whole thing revolving around. You'll never see it coming. Well, Piper and this whole family dynamic kind of did see it coming. So what is it going to be that's different into the season 2 that makes that statement, for me at least, 100% true? And I think maybe a possible Troy or heck, even Brandon James himself not dead or something. Who knows? Something like that would be totally out of left field, and it could make you think that, wow, that person really did help Piper, was part of the group, quote unquote. Because as you've seen there, when we talk about people that might still be alive, well, we know Piper isn't because she got shot twice. That's on the head for good measure, but just already thinking who it could be for myself for the second season, and for me, I see the same thing as well as Jay, that Audrey Aubrey is my number one candidate for right now. Obviously, going into season 2 to be the killer in Ghostface, number 2. And obviously, with a lot of other suspects, we have to see how the season goes. But for right now, with just how it ended, makes us very suspicious. So we'll find out if it was a big red herring just to make us think all the way Audrey. Yeah, Aubrey. We'll see. But it just seems too simple to go with her and pick her to be that killer, especially with the interaction there with the killer and her. Why did the killer keep her alive? They really wanted to keep anybody alive when the killer could have just killed him when they had a chance. I mean, yes, I know for the TV show's premise why they did, just having a large enough cast for season 2. But I mean, just in the storyline there with the finale, why keep him alive? And I think specifically Aubrey, because when she was cornered by the killer, I pushed up against that wall. Kind of thought when I cut to the end of the scene and the killer was about to slash her, I kind of thought she was a goner. In my opinion, in my thinking, I thought, oh well, there she goes. I guess she's no longer a suspect. But that wasn't the case, and the fact that she only got cut in the arm, with the killer being that close, it's not like it was a chasing scene and the killer just missed with a big shot and just only got her arm kind of sequence, where she was actually pinned up and the killer could have got her anywhere. And I kind of thought it was actually going for the head, kind of a gruesome way. And it seems like these actresses and actors want that for their characters if they have to go, at least from the interviews I've seen. But so that was kind of suspicious. Besides the ending sequence, I think, like I said, the interaction between the killer and Audrey was very suspicious and interesting to say the least. Was I surprised a little bit that it was Piper? Sure, but not as surprised as I would have been if it was, let's say if it was revealed to be Noah, or heck, you want to talk about never seen it coming. If it was revealed, because I kind of thought they always said about, or at least whether it was on the show or with the fans, saying about, hey, it could be a woman. It doesn't have to be a man. It doesn't have to be a male. It doesn't have to be Brandon James' son. It could be Brandon James' daughter. It's 2015, kind of like how Piper said. So in that kind of frame of mind, I was going out of the box thinking, oh, how if this killer ended up being Nina? And then, and if it was a group, the whole thing could have been staged from the start. With Piper obviously being the one taking that photo, they're still trying, obviously to prove that he was dead and everything, and maybe he didn't die, or however they would have done that. I mean, that would have been definitely something that I would have not seen coming in. I would have, to be quite honest, I would have had a big grin on my face. It would have been like, okay, they got me. That was really good. That was kind of what I wanted. Because I didn't expect it, I didn't think it, and never brought it up. Or at least never seriously brought it up. In any discussion in any of my previous videos or episodes. So I think hopefully that's what I hope for actually in season 2, for someone to be like that, kind of like a jaw-dropping situation where, oh my gosh, this person was was the killer as well? This person was helping Piper out. Why? Sort of situation like, obviously then they would explain themselves why, but I mean just in the specific time of the revelation, being like, okay, that's interesting. So I mean, it is what it is, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're the same way there, Jay. If you were someone that wanted to be someone all the way out of left field, being that jaw dropping moment, was I don't know if that was something you were looking for here in season one or for season two. Um, would you want it to be someone that was left field to be Piper's tag team there of killers, or if it is someone that's let's say is on our radar for the entire season two? Um, so which I guess my question really obviously is which way would you rather have for season two to end with the killer being someone totally out of left field, being what it was supposed to be, never seen it coming, or someone that's been on our radar, let's say, already through this season two?
Someone, off the radar. Um, Something that I would never see coming, like you said. This one was kind of obvious. It was season one, so hopefully they hit us a little more season two and really get us. I mean, they had us thinking. So I guess season two they're going to have us pass out because we thought any type of thing. So hopefully it'll be someone that no one really even pinpointed earlier in the season.
Yeah, and it could even be, as you even said, it could have been someone that hasn't even been shown yet, someone that might have been mentioned but not shown on TV or on the show. Um, visually, that could have been on the left field that is the killer. Maybe that's how they'll go in season two. Someone that we haven't seen yet. Maybe another person that maybe doesn't come on the scene, so to speak, until late in season two, and then we find out that person is the killer. Any other like last thoughts on this episode specifically, and looking forward into season two?
Um, excited for season two already. I'm going to be watching. Um, I'm sticking around, so hopefully most people are. I haven't seen Twitter. Oh, I knew it, or oh, this is terrible. I'm not watching it, so I haven't did my due diligence like I should have been doing on Twitter. But I'm assuming most people who I think they gave us a good episode. I think we need to be enjoyed. Hopefully we enjoyed it, and because I did. There's a few episodes where it's like, okay, but I mean, that's why they have multiple episodes in one season. Everyone doesn't have to be, you know, 100% act. I mean, 100% perfect for the viewers. I mean, some episodes can be. We'd have to put much work into it, and we can wait to this episode or closer to the end. It doesn't really matter. I also want to give a big round of applause for this season. Thank you. These just these people clapping there. Because I well job done. I give them a round of applause, and I'm in the driver's seat for season two.
I know for the Talking WJ, we do ratings for Raws and everything near the end, and I guess with this one being the end of the season, I thought maybe we'll throw that in here on my show and on this episode. So Jay, um, what would you give the first season of MTV Scream, rating out of 10?
The entire season or just the episode? The season.
The season.
Um, with it being new and all, I really can't knock it. And I think they did a lot of things good. There's a lot of pros and cons. I would give it. Uh, let's go. Let's go with an 8.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go as well. 8 out of 10 for the entire season. I think it went the way it was supposed to be, making you think hard, think different ways. Because the killer could have been really anybody, obviously, everybody being a suspect. Even though the killer that we found out who it was, at least here for season one, was someone that was on people's radar here. and people gravitate toward and kind of even specifically stated out on how this person's going to be the killer, and got that all right too. So kudos to them. I guess a round of applause to them as well for the ones that selected Piper being the killer in their case.
Yeah, you out there.
I know I was waiting for it, but so even with that and them revealing that Piper was a killer and it being kind of to me, kind of like, okay, fine. It was, who someone had, a lot of people had on the radar, a high amount of the fans. And okay, fine, the explanation was great, and it coincided with a lot of people's thoughts, and obviously coincided with how the episodes went. Now that we found out who it is, maybe people will go back to the older episodes since we have a whole, let's say 4 to 6 months or 6 to 8 months, whatever long wait it's going to be until season 2 starts, and go back and watch those episodes and really see why you thought Piper. And I kind of, like I said, I was suspicious. She wasn't really high up on my radar, but I was suspicious, especially with Emma sharing so much with her. Then again, that was my reasoning for Kieran sharing too much. That's why people at first thought it was the sheriff, because he can always, change things and making it look like it's somebody else, and displace the blame to somebody else. That's why he was a number one suspect for people for at least, I would say, half the season, at least 5 episodes in. For some people, but for me, I stood strong and stayed with Kieran the whole season, and in the end, he was just, in the end, Kieran was just misunderstood, to be quite honest. I thought all the negative things, all the bad things, and the whole thought about him being the brother of Emma and son of Brad James and Daisy. And like I even said about that one scene in a preview for an episode where I thought he had a gun to Emma, but in the end, when that episode aired and that scene aired, it was just him helping her out, target practice, trying to keep her safe. So as much as I was a big fan for Will and Emma to be together, and then Will, getting killed off, I guess, she got to move on. So Kieran, I think to me, even though I had him on my radar the whole season, in the end, he proved to me just to be highly misunderstood. And that's the best way to have a red herring, to be quite honest. You have all these things to make it seem like he's it. Even there in the finale, Emma doesn't even know anymore to trust him. And I was watching it and talking to my TV like, don't, because I still thought he was the one and such like that. But maybe that'll be the same thinking with Audrey going into season 2. Maybe she'll be branded the one that probably is the most, and that's why both of us already here with another prediction alert of her being the second killer and part of the team, because of what happened there. And then there'll be other things that maybe think, okay, she definitely is, and she might be the red herring, and maybe it might end up being Noah or Brooke or something. I think I'd be very surprised. Besides it being maybe Brandon's brother, I think it'd be very surprising if it was Brooke, someone like Brooke, to be the killer or be the other killer. I think it would be, obviously, it would be out of the field. It would be interesting, but definitely highly surprising. And since obviously we're getting more viewers on here, thank you for being here this late evening, 11 p.m. Central. It's midnight, September 2nd, where Jay is already. But then again, thank you to all the viewers that are watching. For anybody that watches live or watches when it's on the YouTube channel, you're welcome to leave comments. Let me know what you thought of the season, this episode specifically, your thoughts on how season 2 will go, and obviously your thoughts on our thoughts, whether you agree or disagree. Like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and check me out on YouTube not just on YouTube, on Twitter at Talking_Packers and at WW_podcast for my NFL and WWE podcasts alike. So with that being said, thank you, Jay, for being here again, and hopefully, I think I can always hopefully safely say that you will be back with me when we get into season 2 in 2016, whenever that may be. Um, but welcome to obviously plug your show that obviously I'm a part of, talking WWE with Shay. Anything else that maybe you might have going on? We have a big break between Scream season 1, season 2. Might be doing some other things. Let the audience know what you got going on and where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, just you can really I just promote you guys to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. That's youtube.com/talking WWE with J. That's JAY. Subscribe and on our homepage we get our Twitter and Google Hangout links. So that's how you can follow us there. We're going to be next live Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking the latest WWE news, rumors, and upcoming events. Lots more around WWE. So that'll be a fun episode. And then we got some guests coming out really shortly. So just tune in, and that's how you can find us.
And definitely for those that go to my channel while they're watching this video, because it might be the trailer for the channel. If you look on the right side, I found I could actually do it. I have Talking WWE with Jay and Main Event Marks, the two other programs that I'm a part of. I'm a co-host for Jay's show, Talking WWE with Jay, and periodically I join the group with Angry Gooder, Ajame, Stephen Ajame, and Mike Cologne, and Albert sometimes as well. They're on Main Event Marks Thursday evening as well. So I have those two YouTube channels. Just click on there and subscribe to both of them. They're both great content. Different kind of they're different but the same. The shows are, but they're both are great with the content of giving you WWE news, reviews, and really anything obviously WWE. So definitely subscribe to both of them. But I have it in an easy click there, right on the right side when you're on the channel page. It's under the simple heading, places where you can find me. Also, something like that. I don't know verbatim, but for my subscribers that want to hear my thoughts on pro wrestling that maybe I don't get it up in my episodes. Maybe I talk about something that I don't talk about in my episodes on those shows as well. So I'll definitely check them both out. So thank you to everybody that's watched. We will be back when season 2 starts. Obviously, if you do follow me on Twitter at my personal handle at army_strong_06, that is where you'll be able to find out when I will be starting then to do episodes and again, coming back for MTV Scream. In the meantime, it will be highly NFL with Talking Packers with Steve and then the podcast. So thanks, Jay, for being here. And thanks to everybody that's watched. Take care.
Thank you.